Hello, everybody, and welcome to
Heyo.
DM Writer's Room, a show where we demystify the DMing process by coming up with monsters, magic items, and zines live. We try to capture for you the authentic DM prep experience. We don't warts and all. You know what I mean? This show was spawned out of the fact that I got sick of the kind of advice that you hear. People say like, oh, when you're DMing, you should use this and that technique, and you should spread rice to draw maps. None of that's the grit and annoyance of encounter prep. None of that is coming up with a magic item and trying to tell it's not broken. And so, I'm not going to lie to you. Gentlemen, I can't find my notes. I'm digging around. I'm hoping I find them. I'm going to keep poking around while we sort of pitch the last things that we talked about. We have some concepts of what we had done last time that I'm going to ask you two to share in just a moment, but we might have to do that age-old classic of, we kind of remember what it was. Let's figure out stuff and worry about the rest of it later on. That might have to be how it goes today. I don't know. I'm going to start digging through a pile. Whichever the two of you's feeling it, talk a little bit about what a zine is. And about what the heck this zine's about.
So, here's the opening. A zine is a small, folded up, like printer paper style magazine. It's zine for short for magazine because it's a short magazine and little. It's typically between like 6 and 50 pages is an acceptable zine. We're making an adventure that would preferably fit inside like a set of zines. So we would make one adventure and there'd be like 7 other people who made other adventures and like a little magic item spread and whatever. They'd all go together. The point of this is not to be standalone. Somebody buys just this little thing, though they could. We just charge like a buck for it. But it would be just something to be included in other RPG zines that are already extant. So, zines have a history dating back quite a while. I think to like the 70s or 80s.
They are essentially as old as D&D, if not a little bit more. The concept of a zine as in a short magazine, I think goes back to like when you could print your own stuff.
Exactly. So pretty old. Very cool. What we have done here today, and by today I mean last week at this time, was we made Crystals of the Demi-Lich. It was meant to be in the style of old like AD&D, but set with 5e mechanics so people will actually play it. It was Tomb of Horrors adjacent, which for those of you who are not in the know, Tomb of Horrors is infamously D&D's most dangerous dungeon. It was created as a body ripper. It was just supposed to kill characters and make you bring new characters in. So when your DM felt your party was too strong, they'd send you to the Tomb of Horrors and they'd get killed. The tomb is filled with unimaginable riches, so that's sort of the impetus for you to go there. But inevitably, your entire party's gonna die. Because like every 13 inches, there's another trap and another evil monster that's gonna kill you. So we made that updated for 5e with our own spin on it, where a Demi-Lich has died, and it needs to get the crystals back from its tomb here, which it turns out is actually its soul jar.
Yeah.
You're there to get through this dungeon, retrieve the crystals, bring them back so the Demi-Lich can be brought back to life. We developed the idea that we're not going to set up a bunch of adventure like foreground material. You've been hired, you're here to do it. That's all you need to know. You go in, at the front door, there's a gargoyle. Gargoyle's like, answer my riddle. And if you answer it wrong, gargoyle attacks you, obviously. If you answer it right, which you do have a 25% chance of doing, you're good to go. Head on in, buddy. And when you die, if your party gets wiped, you go up and then you have like a 50% chance of getting it right and then a 75% chance. So it is sort of it stacks on top of itself. You go in, then there's a big trap that you fall into. It's like 15 meters long, and you can like climb up
a
chandeliers
long
to get around
hallway pit trap with chandeliers hanging above.
Yep.
And you could either grab onto the chandeliers and try to like swing your way across, or you could try to sprint so fast that the doors opened behind you, but you're screwing over the rest of your party when you do that. Because we said one of the strats is, if you have a big, fast barbarian, they could just carry the entire party and sprint as fast as they, like, possibly could.
And then after this, it gets a little bit fuzzy. I pitched the idea of a shadow that follows you around. This is hinted at in the questions that the gargoyle asks you, which I think is fun. The shadow will just start stabbing you, and that also offers up a weakness later on for the boss fight. If you were stabbed by the shadow, then you get some sort of disadvantage. I don't recall exactly what it was.
Yeah, there's that. There's the avatar of the Lich.
Yeah, the big thing
that's
was
at the very end.
when you get to the skull, an avatar of the Lich appears, and the first time you get to the skull, it is where you expect it to be. It is in the final throne room of the Lich. But after that, it is wherever your party managed to bring it before they all died.
Yep.
It's wherever
And
they
my idea
managed to get it.
On top of that was if your party died before they reached the throne room, another party reached the throne room in the meantime, and then they died. So it's always going to be random except for your first attempt. If you perfect run it, you're going to get it right. If you don't perfect run it, try one, it's not going to be there. So then there was another trap which I set forth.
I want you to know I'm really impressed. You're really putting it in.
It's a lot. There's hallucinatory terrain
Yes.
that's tricking you into thinking there's a
trap.
trap that you can disarm. But if you have a high enough perception, you see that it's not. First, high perception to see the trap. Second, higher perception to see that the trap is fake. Third, highest perception to see that trap is a fake and there's a real trap. This is what it is. This is how to disarm it. Other monster, I know there's at least two more monsters that I'm just not recalling from before the boss fight.
What's there? See, I remember the shades. I remember the avatar. I don't remember seeing other monsters.
I could be wrong. Maybe we didn't do monsters and that's what we're coming back for today, but...
The only other idea I remember is that Spencer was really adamant that there should be a door that says scary door, and there should be a door that says
Yes.
safe. And that should be the two options. That's the only other thing I remember.
The only other thing I remember was the checkpoint room, which is unbelievably hard to
Yes.
get into.
Checkpoint room, yeah.
But it is the one spot that's safe to take a long rest.
And then you get locked in. You can't get back out at that point. You're in the real belly of the beast once you get to there. Oh, yeah, and the key would be like the two diamonds. You see that there's a little insert port on the back wall that would fit the two eyes of the Demi-Lich. You would insert those and it'd lift up and you could grab the crystals and walk out.
How would you already have the eyes?
You wouldn't. This would be
your out.
Yeah, exactly. To get back out to the...
I feel like
the
you're right. I
entrance.
feel like there was another monster. I feel like we planned out the
There's
monster
another monster.
outside.
There's no way we did 7 traps and just the boss and the boss's minions. I know there's another monster.
I think we did the monster that's outside of this room. What would that have been? What is the guardian of the safe room? Where are my notes?
Right?
Great question. I think we should come up today. This is my pitch. We have 1 hour and 8 minutes before we have to get off. I say we come up with 6 monsters that will populate this dungeon. I think that for the most part, they can be roaming this dungeon a la old D&D that you would roll on a table with a D6.
We had talked about...
Any of these monsters could approach.
Yeah, we had talked about trying to plan the side routes, because we had decided what the sort of unnegotiable main chain was. And that's why it went entrance, trap, next room, safety room, end. And then we were like, from there, it can spiral in 100 different directions. So we can sort of figure out, what those might be. I like that. I think that we can sort of figure out some eldritch terrors, some encounters, give a little rough build going here, and maybe pitch a couple of magic items for this sort of nefarious, ne'er-dwelling tomb of this lich. I feel like we even named the lich.
We did.
We definitely said some words that felt like lich names.
Yeah.
I'm not recalling those.
We had the Lich's name, and we had the name of this module.
It's gotta
This was called Crystals of the Demi-Lich, but we were like, is it Crystals of the Demi-Lich, or is it Crystals of Elkazats or whatever his name was, and we just
It was close to that.
And I was of the mind that we could even name it like Tears of, because the crystals are sort of akin to tears. I think that's fun.
I'm into that.
The nice thing is, it's all recorded, so we'll be able to find
We can
it.
just listen back anytime we want.
I know. I had my stack. I literally don't know how this could happen. My notes for this stream get binder clipped in a little stack. Like, where could they have gone? That is not this little stack that's binder clipped together. My last notes, I have all of those assassins we came up with. Got all the assassins we came up with right here. What happened?
For viewers at home, I'm not going to name names or specify. Ethan is currently undergoing another artistic pursuit. It's making him slip. That's what it is. He's slipping up.
I was like, I don't think I've ever seen you lose a note card.
I wonder if my other artistic pursuit, I wonder if like my notes for this are there. Like I
You're
have
gonna be so confused at the next one.
I have a folder for that stuff. I wonder if people are gonna be like, is he directing a porn? Like, why are they talking about it this way?
We have our reasons.
It's actually magic. Magic's the other artistic
Let me check.
pursuit.
Yeah, no, he's never misplaced like an individual adventure note. We've had one stream, I think 3 years ago, where the notebook that held all of the notes had gone missing for like 1 week.
It did.
But
It
that
did. That's
was
when.
the only
That's when
time.
they. Ironically, that's when they stopped all being in the same notebook for fear of this.
Yeah.
I cleared my whole desk. I have a big pile of like crumpled up notes next to me. How much do you guys want to bet it's chilling in here somewhere?
I remember one of the rooms that was like the scary, not scary safe. And it was one of the rooms is like blinding light. Because that's where shadows, shades come from. And then one room that is pitch black. And then the third room was the true death.
It was the orb of annihilation. Yeah. So fun.
Yeah,
Okay, wait. So these are more notes. I'm writing down all the notes. Okay. Yes, because you get cast in that super bright light, and it casts a bunch of shadows.
Mm-hmm.
And the other one was a sphere of total darkness.
Yep. And then the last one was sphere of annihilation.
Was you walk into the room and you just die. You just wake up at the start of the journal. You're a new guy. You're dirty too.
I think that the funniest response is not what you think, which would be not so scary is the orb of annihilation. I think that kind of scary should be the orb of annihilation, because I think a lot of parties will go for that, being like, it's definitely A or C that's the most dangerous. And they'll hit the middle and they're going to get absolutely fucking annihilated. I think that's hilarious.
I think it's the funniest option to just... It's funny to make it purposefully hyper lethal and stupid, because it invites you to be like, I hope they pick the worst and most nefarious and bad option. Like, that's kind of the dream. In a way that normally as a GM, you're furiously trying to... Little ASMR for the people at home while I uncrumple notes. little free...
I think it's funny. There is no good option, but there is the worst option.
I have an idea for background that I think could be interesting. Your party is not evil. They're not good. They are cloned replicants of this
roguelike
henchman. Yes. And you spawn in, you go here,
you drop
die, and you retain those memories.
You drop out of green clone bats. You like
yes.
Oh,
you gotta go get the things. I think that's hilarious.
I think I'm down with that. I think that means we have to get rid of the other adventurers, move the stuff, because I think it's just got to be you 1,000 times, unless there's other henchmen bats.
No, I think other adventurers. Well. The other adventurers would be heroes that are coming to destroy him once and for all. You know?
Okay.
I think that would still technically work. You get back 1 week later and you're like, ooh, Gargoyle killed fucking 4 dudes outside again. It's gonna walk over those bodies. Excuse me.
So if we do it like I like the heroes idea. I think a fun encounter could be a not monster. You encounter the heroes.
Let me make I have a
Yeah.
pitch that I like. So I think the way that we do this is you guys are rogueliking. You guys are hyper light drifting. You're going at it again and again and again and again and again. I think it's not that every single time the skull moves. I think every time you die, you roll a d20 to see how the adventurers did while you were dead. And I think if they get, I think we should find some ranges. I think if you get a 1 through 5, either if you get a nat 1, I think you need to start over. I think you lose. Like they did it. They
Yeah.
kill the lich.
That's true loss. I think Nat 1. True loss.
Yeah, 1 is I think like true loss. You've absolutely goofed it. 2 through 5 I think should be you have to fight the heroes. 2 through 5 is hero encounter. You need to deal with a like kind of high level party that's there to fuck you over. 6 to 10, the skull has been moved.
The skull has been moved, and it's not in a good spot.
Okay, skull moved, bad.
Yep.
11 to 15, skull moved good. Like skull's just moved.
It's moved, and it's probably closer to the exit, and probably a path that you've walked already.
Oh wait. So skull 11 to 15, skull moved. It's completely random. 16 to 19, skull's in a good spot.
Skull's like outside the safe room, kind of chilling.
Skull good or at least familiar. What does a nat 20 get you? What
I think
At
that 20
the
gets-
entrance.
I think that 20 should be at the safe room, so there's still a bit of challenge. You still have to deal with the lich threat, but
Can I make
then you're out.
if that feels too late, if that feels like it makes it too easy, can I pitch that if you roll a nat 20, they leave a piece of equipment behind?
That's fun. And I'll accept that if it's really strong. It needs to be like really good magic items.
Or is nat 20 they have permanently disabled the threat in one of the rooms? Like roll a random room, that room is no longer functioning.
I think magic item because it adds more to the roguelike elements that we've developed here.
Okay, do we want to widen the odds of a magic item then?
Yeah. Maybe 16 to 20 is magic.
Yeah, I like
Magic
that. And we
item.
take out the good or familiar room because I feel like that just makes it feel a little too easy. So 16 to 20 is magic item, and we can make like the nat 20 chart, and it's like a holy adventure greatsword and a bunch of
Yeah, it's
nonsense.
crazy.
And 16 through 19 is a superior healing potion, and you're like, all right, not too bad.
And when you die and you're remade in the cloning vat, I think you get the stuff that you have on you.
oh yeah,
pop back up.
yeah, I think
Every
that's it.
time.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you
Okay.
if you die and you've rolled well and then you get the Holy Avenger Greatsword, you die, you come back, you have the Holy Avenger Greatsword, you roll well again, you get a fucking cloak of bat kind or whatever.
Oh,
now
yeah.
there's a cloak of bat kind on that guy, and you have the Holy Avenger Sword.
And magic
so you do
items-
get progressively stronger.
And magic items don't get destroyed, so it even makes a little bit of sense that like
Yeah.
your normal gear gets annihilated and you just have all of this. So eventually the party is just loaded down with magic items.
Hmm.
Okay.
And I think it's just that if you're attuned to it and you enter the cloning vats, you get it.
Yeah, I like that. It just makes the difference of is this a roguelike or a roguelite, and with that
I've never known
change,
the
it isn't.
difference.
So a roguelike is it's based off the game.
Oh! My notes!
Hey, nice. Where were they?
They were on the I had a stack of identical note cards. They were written on the back of
Oh,
the bottom
no.
of the stack. I don't know
Nice.
what the fuck that was.
But so way back, probably late 70s, early 80s, there's a video game called Rogue. And first of its kind, it literally video game. If you died, you went back to the beginning. You got nothing but the information going forward.
And that's roguelite or rogue?
No, so that's roguelike. A roguelite is when you die, you go back, but you gain stuff.
Yeah,
to make
rogue.
it easier.
Roguelike
because
is
it's easier.
Roguelike
I
is
see.
memorize what happened. Roguelite is
Yeah.
accumulate better equipment.
Yes.
I see. Interesting.
with
I didn't know
this-
that.
Yeah.
So
fun
Dark
little bit
Souls
of
is a
knowledge.
roguelite because you do get stronger, you do get souls, you do improve, you
Mhm.
find
Yeah.
better weapons.
Keep your gear.
Most games nowadays, if they're going rogue, it's roguelites.
Yeah, I mean-
There's not many roguelike games.
Roguelike is literally referring to, I think, a game called Rogue in the spirit
Rogue,
of like
yep.
Legend of Zelda and shit, where it's like, fucking take another crack, brother. I played the original Final Fantasy, got to that end boss and was locked out and just Googled, like, what do I do? And everybody was like, you fucked it. And I was like,
No.
oh, cool. I'm
Yeah.
gonna really quickly run through some things that I feel like we missed. Spencer, you missed nothing about the gargoyle situation.
Bang.
Absolutely nailed that. The spike traps, we got the chandelier, we got the the spikes, you either need to spell or acrobatics your way across. We did miss that we said the spikes are also poisoned. Just fucking so brutal for no reason.
Yeah.
The demi-lich, we decided it would be funny because liches always have like careful, cautious, foul magic. We were like evoker, fireball, like not subtle, not cautious, not careful. And we decided that the dungeon itself would like answer the lich's call. Like it could tell the dungeon to spawn a wall and it would do controller bullshit. We did say it has a spell called Death Touch, which makes you lose half your max HP. It has Enervate and Enliven, a debuff buff, and it has Chain to Shadow, where it like pushes you into your shadow and makes you two-dimensional as basically like a stun for a round, which is really cool. Other things. The big one that we missed. In the rest stop, every time you try to rest there, you need to make wisdom save. A secret wisdom save. If you fail, you will purposefully trigger the next trap in an effort to kill yourself and the party.
Yep.
Level range for this, level 6 to 8.
Yep.
Eyes are on the plinth only on the first try. That's in here. And then we had each of our big goals. Spencer's was a trap illusion with a second trap, which apparently we had enough time to work on a little bit. Mine was just a dragon. I just said there's got to be a dragon in here. And Michael's was 2 doors, one incredibly bright, one incredibly shadowed. The bright one costs shadows and you have to do a big fight. The shadow one is dark and awful. And then we did have one that just automatically kills the first person to walk through. And then we did say that whoever got killed was then a helpful skeleton.
Yes.
And that turned into when you die, you become a helpful skeleton as long as there is still a living member of the party. Do we want to get rid of that now that we have the kind of roguelite aspect?
What did we set parameters for what a helpful skeleton could and could not do?
Yeah.
We said like a challenge rating 1/8 monster stat block
Yes.
skeleton, and when it dies, it's dead.
Yeah, I'm all for that. I think that's hilarious because it's going to be so essentially useless except for trap clearing. And then you get one trap clear and you're dead again. So it's like, you don't really want to do that either. So it sort of negates itself.
Why would I put the stack back on the rest of the note card stack? There's a question for you.
You're feeling gutsy.
All right.
We nailed
So
it.
I
so
wanna
going
say,
forward,
nearly no gaps.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
going forward, we know one of the monsters that we were bringing up has to be a dragon.
Dragon.
So now a shy 25 minutes, 35 minutes into stream overall time, 25 minutes into us talking, it's time for us to get started, boys.
Let's do it.
Let's get rolling.
If I make a pitch for the dragon,
You
it
can't.
is all right. I'll hush
It's
my
really
mouth.
unfortunate. I'm sorry. We're just not
Yeah.
We're not allowed to
starting
talk
here.
on this one.
True.
All right, dragon idea, go.
Is a shade drake that does get to go like
Ooh,
it goes.
your audio's. You sound like you're in a
Yeah,
pool.
your audio's cutting weird.
Is it any
now you
better
sound
now?
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're good.
That's super weird. But yeah, it gets to travel through shadows, so it looks like it's going through walls, basically.
That's fun. So it's like an enshadowed dragon. Like the way
Yeah.
you make a shade out of a person, this lich made a shade out of the dragon.
Is this? Do we want to make this the nasty shadow that follows you? Is this the pet? Do we want to swap our shadow that stabs you with like? Hear me out. This is I think a dangerous pitch, but I like it. Every time you start the dungeon again, you put like a big hourglass with red sand in the middle of the table with 2 hours on it, and at the end of 2 hours, the dragon becomes aware of your presence.
Ooh, that's fun. Do we want 2 hours? Or do we want 1 hour? Because I'm down for 1.
I just think combat encounters are too slow for 1 hour to be the thing.
I would set a timer for an hour and a half. After the dragon kills you once, it's still going to be an hour and a half, but it resets the timer. Dragon thinks it's dealt with the threat. You're chilling.
Oh, we can also just have it has to roll to find you.
Yeah, true. After the hours passed or whatever.
Yeah, just because I don't see a difference between the dragon. If the dragon kills you all, you have to start back at the beginning of the dungeon and we start another hour and a half timer. That's the same as there just always being an hour and a half timer.
True.
Ethan, question: just because you're streaming on YouTube, is YouTube down for you right now?
YouTube is not working for me right now. I was just trying to go onto our stream to check it out.
It's running on my end. It says it is.
You can open up like individual accounts, but
Let's see.
you can't like on the homepage. nothing loads.
YouTube's not working.
Yes.
on my
Yeah,
phone.
Yeah,
YouTube is
YouTube, the website is down apparently. Sorry, got
Like, I can click on a guy's account and open a video, but the homepage doesn't work. Can't click on anything.
Yeah, so if I take a look at the sort of YouTube down detector, I don't know if you guys can see, there is just a crimson red spike ascending beyond the limits of the graph.
Pretty
All right, well,
rough.
we'll see what happens with that.
I feel like I shouldn't stop because I feel like
No.
I feel like if I stop, our VOD is going to be broken, and I'm hoping that
Yeah.
YouTube is still getting this information.
I just went to our page like via URL, and it's playing. It's currently up. It's
Sick.
just the home UI is busted on YouTube, so we should be good. We just won't have any live viewers, except for me.
You know what's funny? We had one, and it went away.
Wow.
And
They
I was
lost
like,
it.
oh, they must have not been interested. I wonder if they I wonder if they got dispelled. Okay. So you have an hour and a half before the dragon starts to search. And we'll just say, and that DC just slides down, right?
Mhm.
That DC starts, the DC for the dragon to find you immediately is a 30, and then it's a 25, 20, and what, like every 30 minutes, we think? Every 30, every 10, every 15. It's just, I think you guys are, I want to be careful that we don't underestimate how long combat takes in D&D. Like an hour and a half is short. The average game of D&D is 4 hours long.
I think that a fun way to do it would be the dragon is not a TPKer. The dragon shows up. The dragon might instant kill one person and mark everybody else and then fade into the black. And then in the final fight, if a party's been marked, the Lich does extra bullshit to them. Which we discussed on the last stream, is that if they're marked by the shadow, something happens.
Okay.
So if you don't do the entire thing in an hour and a half, one of you's probably going to die. All of you are going to get fucked up by the Lich.
So here's my big question then. All right, so I like this. After an hour and a half, the dragon rolls up. There's no contest. He rolls up every single time. How many rounds do you need to survive?
3.
3. Wow. So this thing sucks.
Yeah.
And then how often does it show up after that?
I think after the one show up, another hour and a half. If
Okay.
you're up in this bit for another hour and a half before you find the Lich, the dragon's going to show up and probably kill you this time.
I think most people, their dungeon clear run is going to be like 5 hours long. Because it's going to be like the same. They're not going to waste time on the puzzles after the first attempt, but they're still going to have to roll initiative and fight some fucking gerblins. Like, you know what I mean?
If they start using like chase mechanic rules, just sprinting through the dungeon they've got memorized.
Yeah.
I mean, you would have the option to be like, I run in the room, I immediately turn to the right, I cast Fireball on that square. Like, really pushing ahead, I think, is fun. All right.
The hard part's going to be the roaming monsters.
No, it's not. All right.
Well, just memorizing. I mean, we won't have paths really.
So,
but...
we've been doing... This is a Lich, which means it does undead stuff. It involves shadows. We've been really hammering the shadows. I think that's awesome. But we said one of our core things was that we wanted this Lich to be an evoker, to be somebody who's using like fire and lightning and ice to fuck the party up. For those of you just tuning in, we're kind of making a Tomb of Horrors adjacent product. We are not ripping anything. We are just making a big deadly dungeon that you try to beat in a kind of roguelite style. So, we need to come up with at least 4 or 5 monsters. We have a lot of undead already. We had said that we're going to steal the nobodies from nowhere for one of them, which I thought was really fun. Let's make some evocation wizard creations. What does an evocation wizard, what does a big fireball dude build to protect his sanctum sanctorum, right? What is it?
Puddle of oil in the sense of like in the same vein as like a wandering ooze. It's
Okay.
a creature made of liquid that just pools around you all. It has 1 attack. It is self-immolate. It lights up and you'll
That
get
sucks.
absolutely burned. Yeah.
Okay, so it has, so let's say it engulfs and then immolates.
Yeah.
I say, science was spark.
Spark is fun.
Yeah, engulf and spark. And it just, if you're inside, you take like 10d6 fire damage. If you've had oil doused on you, you take, 5d6 or whatever, and there is some save attached. So it's inside, big hit. Outside, save hit. Now, to keep up the spirit of the show, when it comes to figuring out how much damage you want stuff like this to do, my main piece of advice is the average damage that something that is supposed to be deadly should do is like between 1/3 and 1/2 of a character's HP. There's going to be a temptation that the average roll should be the person's whole life total. I don't think that's a good idea. Because if you ever have your party fight one monster, you've done something really stupid. Right? D&D's not built for that. It's made for the party to fight either 1 less or 2 more than there are them. Anytime you give them big advantage in combat initiative, you make the fight swingy, it really quickly breaks down. So, that big hit is like 1/3 of their life on average. If they roll really lucky, it'll be more. Most of the time, it'll be less. But, on bead, it'll be about 1/3. Everyone outside gets to save or take more or less. I like that. I think that's really fun. If you roll a history check, you can be like, these are the creations of this lich. Imagine a battlefield of these things. And the lich above just casts a meteor swarm, and it napalms the entire field as these oil oozes begin to just ignite. Does it stay alive after it sparks, or does it kill it? Do you now have like a flaming oil element ooze, or does it die when it does it?
My original thought was that it would die, but then it's more of a trap. So I think that it should stay alive, most likely.
If I can make a suggestion, it costs half of its max HP, or half of its current HP to spark.
That's pretty fun.
We can also just say it takes the damage too. So if it rolls really high, it might accidentally blow itself up completely and just be destroyed. If it doesn't, now you have a flaming ooze.
Yeah, it's fun.
Okay. Also takes damage.
Okay. And as a flame user, probably has passive aura damage and like one extra attack.
We give it the most nefarious and evil ability in Dungeons and Dragons, which is anytime this creature is struck with a melee weapon attack, you take 5 points of fire damage. It's the meanest shit in the universe.
It's so brutal. Armor of flames.
Yeah. Fire ooze, aura stuff. I like it. All right. So that's one sort of element of evocation taken care of. What's another angle on this that we like? I kind of want something that does lightning damage. I was thinking about just like a living spell, but I feel like the ooze is kind of doing that job. I kind of want like skeletons etched with runes so that they're like throwing lightning bolts around. Is that anything? Like elemental skeletons?
Mm-hmm.
It makes sense because we've established that this is still a necromancer. It's just his preferred method of destruction is evocation. The first thing he brought back was the shade, right? Like, so the skeletons then being evoked is sick.
And they're like the foot soldiers. There are just fire, ice, and lightning skeletons, and they can do sort of irrelevant combat damage.
Yeah. And that's great because it flavors the combats. And if one of your guys is like, I'm a red dragonborn, I've got resistance to fire. Cool. The other skeleton here does do frost damage. So it's a little irrelevant that you've got a resistance to the one element because this one's still here.
And we can even make those a little more engaging in combat. We can say that I don't think they should have a healer, but we can say that the fire skeleton is more of a skirmisher, like moves quick, strikes in melee. The ice skeleton is more of a controller, freezing people and slowing people down. And the lightning skeleton is more of an artillery kind of character, right? It's launching lightning bolts and calling down things. That way you have 3 different kinds of creatures to deal with. You are kind of wedged between them. One of the things that annoys me the most about monster design in D&D, the way that most people do it, is they're like, we made goblins. Oh, cool. How many stat blocks for goblin did you make? Goblin. And you're like, oh. Nothing else? And they're like,
goblins can only be one thing. Everybody knows that.
The closest they get is when they're like, no, it's a goblin and it's a couple of bugbears and it's a nilbog. And I'm like, okay, so you have a caster, you have a goblin butt big and sneaky, and you have goblin. Wouldn't it be more fun to have, sneaky goblin, strong goblin, small goblin?
The goblin anarchist. Like, cool stuff.
We got goblin, we got gerblin, we got goblin.
Yeah, see, the problem is
we got boblin.
Like having the like melee soldier goblin be the gerblin, and it's like it's just a big nasty goblin that they've enchanted, I think is really fun. I love stuff like that. Let fantasy be a little silly. What are we up to, man? Read a Terry Pratchett book. Take a load off.
Yeah, that's just a goblin who got his hands on a magic sword. Maybe a little stronger.
So funny. It's a gerblin is anytime a goblin finds a +1/+1 sword, they begin to call them a gerblin. And Gerb is the goblin god of luck. All right, cool.
Yes.
All right, so that's like 4 different kinds of monsters that you can encounter. I feel like that's 2 evocation to our 2 shadow undead. So we have undead shadow dragon, we have nobodies, we have this oil ooze, and we have these elemental skeletons, and then we have our gargoyle construct. What are some other ideas that we have kind of kicking around? We're doing great. We got 37 minutes. We're rolling.
I want there to be a minotaur in the classic sense of there being a minotaur in a dungeon. Everything else can be brought back. They're brought back between cycles. Minotaur is not an undead construction. It's not made or developed in any special way. It's a minotaur. When you kill the minotaur, it's done.
Oh,
You
so
kill
this
the Minotaur,
thing's
the threat no longer
strong,
exists.
then.
Can I pitch?
Oh yeah, it's crazy.
Can I pitch that the Minotaur is the maintenance guy?
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
Like when you disable a trap, oh wait, this is really fun. Like what if you have to
the
roll to
Minotaur
see
reconstructs.
what do you have to roll to see how much of the dungeon the Minotaur can reset between runs?
Ooh,
And
like
that's
a
why
D100?
and killing the Minotaur is basically winning. Because then each time you play through, the dungeon will be more and more broken down. The traps won't reset, and it'll get easier and easier and easier to do what you need to do. But
So
some of the rooms will get
subquests-
worse. The opening hallway is going to just be a 15-foot tunnel of spikes every time you start.
And
Do the-
every time... Mike, go
Go
ahead.
Do the bodies pile up?
Yeah.
If you die enough times,
Yeah.
you just run over them.
If you throw yourself into the spike pit 100 times back to back to back, yes. But heroes might get the crystals, so you can't do that. The risk is too high that somebody else will get it in the 100 weeks of respawn. So it balances out.
It's really good. So we have a Minotaur maintenance worker that is super tough and doesn't respawn.
Does the Minotaur try to get away, or is he like fight on sight?
The
I think
Minotaur will...
I think it fights until a
Go
quarter health and then fucks off.
Yeah, Minotaur's not hunting you. I think it's subquest number 1 for the party. As soon as they realize that a Minotaur is the one keeping everything up, they're going to want to hunt him down and kill him. So the Minotaur's hiding. If you find the Minotaur, it will fight you until 25%, then run off. So it's an attack from the party.
We see one of these tunnel traps. We see a big room, and the trap is like the darts shooting out of the wall, like in an Indiana Jones thing. And you walk in, and you just see a Minotaur slowly putting spikes in all of them, and then it turns, oh shit, and runs away from you out of the room, and you're just like, wait! Sorry! That's really funny.
Yeah,
all right,
I
so
like that.
what is fighting this Minotaur like? It kind of makes me want to have the Minotaur be an artificer instead of a barbarian.
Yeah, he like instant builds 3 catapults, get blasted.
This is fun.
Now, if
and he definitely has some spell called like false floor or something. And if he's at 25% health, he action opens it, drops in, bonus action like dashes away in this extra planar space. That's how he escapes.
he can open
unless
portals,
you lock him down.
yeah, to other parts of the dungeon that only he can go through. That's really funny, but it's short range. It's like a not even. It's like dimension door, if even that. Like it might be less than. It might be Misty Step.
He gets like one room over from wherever, but he decides which room, so you kind of have to guess where he's at.
This is so funny. I love the idea of giving like little mini subquests where it's like it's a mini boss. If you want to go track him down, you're gonna make things a lot easier. It's just gonna suck. Like you're gonna spend
really,
multiple
really bad.
runs not even trying to get to the eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Just looking
Every
for
time
this
you do
dude.
that, heroes might get it.
Which
And because you're spending more time in the dungeon on those runs, more times for the dragon to come in.
oh yeah, because a big thing that I would want to do is I would be like, I break a trap and I hide. Well, I break a trap and I hide. He'll show up to fix it
Jump
eventually,
in.
and it's like, okay, let's see how long it takes him. That's really good.
Mhm.
That's really powerful. All right. The roguelike thing, I think, has helped us come up with some
we've
pretty
locked in.
exciting different angles. All right. That's 4. We wanted 6. Do we have
If
2 more? I want to offer that there is a big fuck up. I think that there's like a door you shouldn't open. I want there to be a trap that like slides you into a room with nowhere in there or something. Where it's like, oh, fuck. Like, I want there to be, I want there to be a Sarlacc pit somewhere where it's like, is it impossible? Mostly, but if you've killed the heroes a couple times, maybe you can body this thing. What do we think that is? Because I always feel like that's so fun. It's it's Luke Skywalker getting dropped into the Rancor pit. It's, fucking all that kind of stuff.
It is the internal mechanism of the soul jar itself. It is thousands of hungering souls that are biting you and ripping you apart, and you have to get to the exit. You know that scene in Hercules, the animated movie from Disney?
Well, he's in the sticks? Yeah.
Yeah, you're in there, and you're trying to get out. You might survive. You're not going to kill the 18 billion souls in there, but you just got to get out.
It's the heart of the dungeon. It is a swirling vortex of destruction and pain. That's too good.
Uh-huh. And I think that it's kind of hard to get to. You have to sort of like game test. Attempt to break it?
Can I tell you? I think the best way to get it done. I think that the Minotaur's portal stays open, and if you jump in, it disappears. I want to say the Minotaur's portal doesn't even stay open for a full round. It stays open until initiative count 20.
Interesting.
So might,
like 3 of you could jump in and 2 of you might be left out.
But the first person to jump in, you're like, great. You see a swirling vortex of pain. They're like, fuck, don't do it.
What? But no metagaming. Nobody else sees anything.
Nope.
They jump right in there too.
Heart of the dungeon. And so it's just is it just make a skill challenge to try to get out? Or is it a combat that you flee and you are fighting a CR20 Heart of the Dungeon?
It's a combat that you flee and you're swinging your Holy Avenger to try and escape.
You know what it reminds me of?
I think it would be like, if you do radiant damage or something, you will not be the focus of the attacks of the Heart of Darkness. So you're going to be way better off running. But if the sorcerer is there and he doesn't have it, he's cooked.
One of my favorite, what this fight should be like, I just wrote CR Infinity. In Vampire the Masquerade, a game that I like the concept of, but that I've never played a fun game of, while playing it as intended. Spencer and I played a really fun one-shot of it, where I played a baseball-obsessed vampire who used a bat to kill people. That was really fun, because he thought it was funny, but was not following the sort of mood and tone of Vampire by any means. One of my favorite things in Vampire the Masquerade is all of the vampires are descendants of Cain, like Cain and Abel Cain. And there is an official Cain stat block, and it just says "you die" in huge letters on it, and that's it. It's over his abilities. It says "you die," and that's it. If you encounter Cain and try to fight him in Vampire by the rules, you die. There is nothing else happens. He has like a blood pool, because vampires have blood pools, and yours is normally like 8 little vials or whatever, and his is like a whole box like off to the side. I love things like that because it's so rare. I feel like in RPGs now, it's like an OSR thing. Some OSR games are like a little too. I like a lot of the classic stuff, and some of them are still way too grognardy for me. But when they're like, what happens if you do this? You die. I think that's so fun. Because, like, I don't care if my character dies. I know a lot of people, I never understand the TikToks that are like, killing a player's character is a betrayal of trust. I'm like, kill him. End him.
No. Kill him
I think
twice.
that's fun. Spencer
You have
kills.
the shot, take it.
What do you think? Spencer, what's your battering average?
75%.
Like 3? Yeah, I was about to say.
75% of your characters.
Spencer kills like 75% of my characters every game because I feel like I'm often the only guy who's like, oh, I hear a noise, I chase after it. Why? I'm not Dougie the accountant. I'm a hero. I chase it. What if you die? Then he dies.
Our Monster of the Week fully recorded and edited podcast that you can check out right now called The Prince of Charming. Your character, I think, went against your initial intention for him when you jumped into the church seeing that girl get stabbed. And I was like, she's dead. And your character knew it. You went in and you started fighting the guy. And during it, you were like, what the hell am I doing? I gotta get out of here. And I was like, yeah, you do. You survived by like 1 HP.
Yeah.
It was so close.
He jumped in because he thought she was still alive, and then he realized she was dead, and she was trying to like drag her body out, and then he went, what the hell am I doing? Like,
I'm gone.
I gotta get out of here. Yeah,
Your character hung out with my character a little bit too much.
It's
Yeah.
My guy's an FBI character.
I'm
Who
telling you,
would.
if you're watching this, I don't give a lot of player advice. This is my player advice. It's from, I think, Blades in the Dark. Play your character like you are driving a stolen car. Like, come on, stop being so precious. If they die, it'll be cool. All right, kicking things on then. So Heart of the Dungeon, this like CR Infinity thing, slipping through the Minotaur portal. I think if you ever try to like chisel stones out of the wall to get between rooms, it opens into like a chasm between spaces, and if you try to climb in, you just and you fall into the heart of the dungeon. Like,
Can I hit you guys with a pitch for subquest number 2?
yeah.
If you get the Holy Avenger Blade +3 from the drop of a natural 20, I think that if you stab the Heart of Darkness, you kill it. I think that you swing once, you destroy it, it blows up into smithereens. That's an alternate win con because the Lich can't come back anymore.
You've destroyed its soul jar.
Soul jar, yeah. You've destroyed it. Lich is gone. You're good. You and your party can get the hell out of there. The other thing, if you don't get a natural 20 and get the Holy Avenger Greatsword +3, is you get some, like, teleport tracker device. So when you go through the portal, you just follow the Minotaur. That's like if you get a 17 on the random item, you pick it up, you're like, what does this do? It brings you through the portal when he goes through it. So you can kill him and probably skip a trap.
I love this. So there is a secret win con,
Yes, exactly.
and it's if you get the nat 20 item, and then you roll like a 4 on the D4 for which nat 20 item you get like the Sword of Songs and Stories. It's this glinting white blade, and that can kill the heart, and by extension kill the Lich.
Can we call it like the Sword of Retribution? Because
Yeah.
it's like what these
Or-
spirits have been clamoring for all this time.
I think would be really fun. You don't even need to do like a big cool stab. I love the idea that as you like jump in the air and stab down, you see these uncountable hands start to like pull the blade into the center to be like,
yeah.
finally. Oh, that's really good. See, this is what I'm talking about. I've been inspired by something in this moment. They renamed, so for those of you who aren't aware, they renamed phylacteries because the name phylactery is associated with a Jewish traditional practice and is a little odd. So they renamed it to Soul Jar. Soul Gem? Soul Jar?
Soul
I
Jar.
thought it was Soul Jar.
It's one of those two. I gotta say something. It's dumb. It's a bad name. It's stupid. It sounds silly. I have pitched since the beginning, from the very first moment that I heard it, that they should have named it a reliquary instead, because I think reliquaries are very cool. Reliquaries are like the pinky bone of a saint in a necklace, or supposedly, right, Mary Magdalene's skull is in...
Oh, sorry. I've looked it up. It's Soul Cage.
Soul Cage. It's stupid. Like, supposedly Mary Magdalene's skull, right, is in glass somewhere in the Vatican or wherever. I want to pitch that internally it's called a reliquary, and as a part of the ritual to become a lich, they have to carve a part of their body off, Dorian Gray style, and make a reliquary, and that's what absorbs the souls. So, like, some of them cut out their heart and put it in glass. Some of them cut off their pinky and make, like, a pinky bone amulet. Some of them, like, rip out their eye. I just think it's cooler. I don't know why you would do anything else. I feel like it's the coolest possible option. Is that as like you discorporate into a shade and you pull your own skull out of your head and forge it into something that's what holds on to your injuries and things. Anywho, that just popped into my head, and when we make our own sort of full spectrum TTRPG,
Yeah, you're 100% correct.
because we got to do something. All right, we need one more, technically two more. The secret win con is not so much a monster as it is a really cool thing that happens, which I'm into.
One idea.
I love the idea of alternate win cons in a D&D adventure. I love they being like,
hell yeah.
Storm King's Thunder, you have to do this big political thing, or There's an
Four.
eagle in Act 1. If you make friends with the eagle, he goes and speaks to the Hawk Lords on your behalf. When you get to Act 3, Aramis Silverwing, Knight of the Hawk Lords, will challenge you to a duel. If you win that duel, he takes you back to the realm of the Hawk Lords, and they give you the Spear of True Lightning. If you strike the Storm King with it, he instantly dies and you become the Storm King. It's so
And
funny.
see, it sounds crazy. First of all, love it. Second of all, Michael has done this. In Curse of Strahd, there's a prophecy that a hero from outside will bring the light into the Vallaki.
Yeah.
There's a whole cult dedicated to this specific prophecy. Michael never read any of the D&D books.
Nope.
Has never cracked a single spine. Rolls up, casts sunlight in front of the cult members. What did he do exactly?
I cast Greater Illusion or Major Image and put a sun in the sky.
In the sky of Vallaki when Strahd and all the underlings were attacking. Everybody lost their fucking minds. The leader of that cult was there and dropped down hands and knees. I was like, wow, this really is an alternate win con for this town. Not the adventure, but this town, he hit the win con.
Put an alternate win con in the dungeon. Come on,
Exactly.
live a little. All right,
Let him play.
let him play.
So I do have an idea for a monster. It's a hair out there, but there's reasoning to it.
The thing is, Michael, you've said some real shit without saying that caveat before, and now I am nervous.
It's crazy to pitch with that caveat.
When I think shadow, darkness, pure black, I think deep depths of the ocean, abyss. I think it'd be fun to have some abyss creature up here.
Like that which light has never touched. Do you mean the abyss is in the 685 layers of the abyss, or do you mean there's a water level?
Water level.
God,
because also, yes.
God, that sucks.
Because we also have Link and the water temple.
God, you have disadvantage on all attacks with slashing and bludgeoning weapons when you are underwater.
It's so funny to imagine, the big door that you swing open. It's got a portcullis so you can look through.
And just water.
Blast you. It's two, so there's a little stopgap, so you can't open both and just empty it out. That's not a workaround that's gonna work. You open the one door, you have to close it to then open the other one, and you get blasted with water.
I think the best pitch I can make for this, which is also the most miserable, is that when you leave the safe room, there are two doors, and one of them leads to the water level and floods the safe room as it opens, and you're just like, oh, fuck. So one of the places you find is, the safe room's always dry when you return, but you find, drowned bodies in the safe room all the time, and you're like, fuck, this gets a lot of the adventurers. This gets
a lot. We're not going that way again, right, guys? That one's not gonna happen again.
But then on your third pass, you find the gills of eternal breath, and you're like, should we just do the water level?
Maybe it's a shortcut.
Okay, so you do the water level. What is this terrible abyss creature? What is this creature that has never known light? Is it an anglerfish? Is it something that brings its own light? We have kind of an obsession with anglerfishes. BotBreezy94, I had my first campaign. It went really well. Congratulations.
Hey, congrats.
That's awesome.
Second one's happening
First
soon.
campaigns are
I have a
huge.
question about travel and how to make it better. Ooh, pop it in. We'll see if we can. We're rolling on our Tomb of Horrors here, but if we catch you in the sidebar, we'll try to let you know what you want.
Yeah.
Also,
send
your
it
first
through.
campaign or your first adventure? Did you just finish a year-long arc over there? I'm curious.
Sounds like this was a full campaign. Hell yeah, that's
So-
crazy. Most people don't get a campaign done. Congratulations.
Very true. So water level. What is this terrible beast of the abyss?
I was thinking giant squid.
Oh man, that's awful. I love it.
Yeah, it's gross.
Abyssal though, thorny,
Oh,
thorns
yeah.
with the suckers. Oh yeah.
100%. Give me that big old red eye.
Pitch black water is also gross.
And
so-
just because
Yeah.
we need it, what minions does the abyssal squid roll? Because our minotaur is going to conjure constructs that are going to help it. Our skeletons have a bunch of buddies. So what does the abyssal squid roll up with? Does it just have like a bunch of little squids? Does it have like pilot
like
fish?
piranhas.
I was thinking similar to piranhas. I was gonna call them like arrowfish. They
Sure,
just shoot out at high speed
barracudas.
and pierce. They go pshing and stab through
Yeah.
you.
Arrowfish is very cool.
And I like that they kind of justify why the water isn't completely full of dead bodies. It's like, no, the arrowfish eat them.
Yeah.
Like, that's why they're there. Why does he have these oil oozes? Isn't he afraid they're going to burn the dungeon down? No, the dungeon's magical, but also the oil oozes eat corpses. Like, that's what they
It's just like
do.
gelatinous ooze.
They go around and they eat corpses and dissolve all the shit inside of them, which is why
Immolate. Burn.
Which is why, like, all of your clone bodies have a huge sigil carved into the chest, and that's what drags your magic items with you around wherever you go. That's really good. I like that. Yeah, like, you wake up with something, like, scalded into your chest, and when you look up, the top of your clone tank has that symbol on it.
Yeah.
And it just drags any magic items that you had on your body with you. That's really fun.
Magic magnet.
God, the water level is so fucking mean.
Mm-hmm.
We don't need to worry about this time. We've got to put some pretty dope stuff in the water level. We got to make that pretty worth it for you to ever even think about going in there.
Guaranteed really good magic item in there.
Yeah, because this is a spot where the oil ooze can't go. It can't enter there and destroy the bodies and the magic items and the casual items. So anything you can get your hands on will have been untouched. The arrowfish just eat the bodies. Everything else falls to the bottom.
In the normal dungeon, you only have the opportunity to get what the last group of heroes dropped. In this one, it's like you have the opportunity to grab everything that has been dropped. Bot Breezy says, my campaign was pretty long for me. It took about 5 months. That's pretty tight for a campaign.
Yeah,
good job. I designed my own world and lore. Tough. And I convinced my friends to play. And ever since that day, they have loved it. And you're making part 2.
Good.
What a
Part
dream.
2, yes, sir.
What a dream. I'm
Yes,
going to say something. You're about to ask for advice. Sounds like you don't need it. Sounds like you don't need
nailed
it.
it.
Yeah, getting like I recommend that timetable. Long spanning campaigns and adventures, man, they are exhausting. They take so long. It's so tough to keep track of everything. You try to bring up an NPC from a year and a half ago, and the players are all like,
Neverland.
yeah, the Duke of Moraine. I remember that guy. If you can crunch down that timetable, you can really help yourself.
5
Rift
months
World,
is really nice.
80s
Hey.
nostalgia Rift World. Sounds fun to me,
Nice.
man.
It's badass.
All right, one more scary thing in this dungeon. One more nefarious creature. I feel like we haven't done anything extra planar yet, so that's what I want to do next. I want a demon. I want a devil. I want,
Mirror dogs.
We love a mirror. The Hounds
Oh,
of
mirror
Tyndalos are. Honestly, the foolhardy emblem should have a Hound of Tyndalos on it. We love mirror dogs in a way that is frankly unfortunate. We are obsessed with those shardy boys.
Sorry. Shart.
This is a show for grown-ups. This is DM writers'
Yeah.
room. This isn't DM toddlers' room.
I
Careful,
feel
everybody.
like
Spencer's about to start churning out 6-7 jokes.
Hounds of Tyndalos is solid. I've completely lost my train of thought. I did have an idea, but I'm gonna have to go back to Hounds of Tyndalos. They're great. They're always fun. They always work, and they're badass.
Do we need to have? Can we have a Hound of Tyndalos, or do we need to have mirror dogs?
Pretty sure that's public domain. I'm hitting quick Google search.
how's Denny
Yes,
Lich
Frank
got
Belknap
hold?
Long's short story, The Hounds of Tyndalos, originally published in Weird Tales in 1999, is in the public domain in the United States, as it was published before
Ew.
1931, and the copyright was never renewed. Okay, yeah, so we can have a literal Hound of Tyndalos. So for those of you unfamiliar, Hounds of Tyndalos enter the world through corners. I think they're described as either being made of angles or as being made of mirrors, and they enter through corners. So like anywhere that there is an angle, they can enter through the world, which is a really fun take on like a fifth dimensional being, right? There is another axis that they can pass through that we can't, and you can make it by just putting a corner basically anywhere, and they can sort of creep in through those corners.
And the whole room's a mirror maze. Everyone has this vantage.
Oh,
Now,
fuck.
I'm going to pitch you with, it doesn't need to be a room. This could be a summon of the Minotaur. If the Minotaur's an artificer, and it takes a perfect angle, like a perfect 90, to get a Hound of Tindalos, what he does is he, like, crashes together two pieces of metal and merges them at that perfect angle. And it summons the Hound, or hounds. And that's sort of the distraction to help the Minotaur get away.
You know what I love about that? It's like weird cosmic horror. It's the kind of shit that I think most people don't think about, but that I think is really interesting, is the idea where it's like you watch as this Minotaur slaps two pieces of metal together, and your eyes like get hazy as you realize that he has put them at a absolutely perfect 90-degree angle, to the point that your brain kind of like, like it's bad to look at. Mm-hmm. If you ever see a perfect geometric pattern, your vision starts to like, oh no, like it's bad to look at. I think I love the idea.
Magic, you're looking at a magic eye puzzle.
Because there's this temptation to be like, you see a swirling void of tentacles. I much more prefer it when something super mundane happens and your brain is just like, nope, can't deal with it. It's like imagining seeing another color. What would happen? You would just get a nosebleed. Like, you'd be like, I see something that's not there. Like, it would just be very uncomfortable. I'm trying to think. I just had an example in my head. Oh, there's a really good cosmic horror picture, and it's just a mouse that was climbing over a breaker box, and its hands touched two ends of the breaker, and it's just bones. Like, somebody went into their basement and they found this mouse that had incinerated itself, and it's like, that's what cosmic horror is. That mouse didn't understand where it was. It didn't understand what it was doing or what it was crawling over. It did something that it could never have understood, and for reasons that it could never understand, it died instantly. And I just, there's something powerful there. Went away really fast, but Bob Breezy said, I can't wait to scare the crap out of my friends at the end of this campaign because I'm bringing Vecna to kill one of my players' RP dad, which is a powerful wizard will be killed. Yeah, the best thing you can do with a powerful NPC is kill them.
Yep.
And they will have to enter Vecna's dungeon. You're running real classic D&D fantasy in a way that I'm very into.
We had a video at one point that was like, kill your Gandalf.
Yeah, kill your Gandalfs. Kill your Gandalfs. Gandalf needs to die in the first book so that anything interesting can happen. You can bring Gandalf back later, like this dad. You could bring him back when the party's level 17 and he will not be a big deal.
A similar power. 100%.
My favorite example of this is in, of all things, Jurassic Park. You may remember in the movie of Jurassic Park, there's that guy with the hat and the gun who's like, they're dangerous. So his name's Muldoon, which I just love.
I fucking love Muldoon.
And Muldoon, in the book, Muldoon lives because Muldoon abandons everyone else to die and hides in a cement tunnel for like 3 days. If you want Jurassic Park to be really terrifying, you want the dinosaurs to be scary, you take your dinosaur park ranger and you stuff him in a concrete tunnel for 3 days. Get rid of Gandalf. Get rid of the big wizard. Don't do the thing where it's like, only you, the chosen one. No. The only time we should see your wizard is when we watch him get incinerated from 150 feet away. Like,
yep. You're doing the right thing by killing this character. 1, for plot relevancy and usefulness. 2, it's cool to kill NPCs.
It's
I have
just
to say,
fun.
characters that your characters have made an emotional bond with, killing them, it's awesome.
Especially when you're dealing with like power word kill. My favorite way to describe power word kill is you watch the lich, wizard, whatever it is, look over at the person, and you hear the word die, but their lips move and say something else that you can't understand, and the person just drops. No big, like, Voldemort turning into ash. The person just, whoomp, collapses. And you're like, what? What's the Rick and Morty thing? What's that? Death. What kind? The instant kind. All right. All right, cool. One more big monster. We've got 7 minutes on the clock here. The Hounds of Tindalos are auxiliary to the Minotaur, so that means we need one more. We can do another extra dimensional. We can do another shadow. We can do something else that's evocation-y. We only have one construct in the form of our gargoyles outside. Do we have one more kind of thought kicking around? I'm trying to think. I usually like there being an imprisoned devil, or an idea I had. I don't know if it's a little too repetitive with the Minotaur. I kind of like the idea that there is a hero stuck in here who has just gone mad from time. Like, there's an unkillable hero and they've just gone mad. Like, they can't, they've been in here for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years and their memory is annihilated. And so now there's like a barbarian who's been raging for 105 years. But I don't know really how that fits into the overall, right? It's not like our guy doesn't strike me as a like torturer extraordinaire. He seems to just mainly try and kill people. So that's me kind of bringing my more macabre taste in adventures into the space. Do we have any other thoughts kicking around?
The only
we
other
do have, if you roll a specific number on the
the heroes.
The heroes, yeah. So we do have that baked in, which sort of counts, but is a little...
Yeah, no, I like it. So what does this band of heroes look like? Because you never want to roll up player character sheets for people to fight just because player characters are really strong. Like, I know that sounds boring, but like, player characters are really strong. They're really hard to kill. D&D works super hard to keep them from dying. If you throw the party up against an equivalent level of party, the fight's gonna take forever. It's gonna take 1,000 years, and it's gonna be so swingy back and forth depending on party comp. So let's take our 5 minutes here and just really quickly flush out our like band of 5 here. What are these like big archetypal, because it's only going to happen when you roll a nat 1. What are the odds that that's going to happen more than once or twice? So like, what do these dudes look like?
I'm hitting cleric number 1. There's always a cleric. I
King's
feel
Knight.
like...
I do want to say, I think the changes we've made to this
champion
adventure
fighter.
make building your cultist so much more fun, because you get to stay the same cultist.
Yeah, it helps. It
Getting
helps a
to
lot.
make your band of cultists that are infinitely devoted is so funny.
So cleric, Michael said knight, so I'm thinking like champion fighter along those lines. Probably not paladinic because we've got the cleric covering that. Wizard is always a given in a party comp like this.
Okay, so
I
in
love
that
a
case,
good warlock because
I was about to say warlock is really good. So in that
hunter.
in that case, we have support, tank, damage. Warlocks are usually either damage or control.
Yeah.
So my next pick would be another something tanky. So it would probably be a druid or a barbarian.
Michael, I would go with ranger if the ranger could use a bear, but that's too many moving plates for a DM. So I'm going to go
Fair.
druid with wild shape bear to give tank. Side note, for Bot Breezy, we do have 3 minutes on the clock before we have to get off. So if you do have a travel question, send it in the chat and we can answer that for you. Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe we can.
My big note, I'll just say right up at the top, because I'm writing about this for a script right now, is the real question about what you should do on travel is how dangerous is your world? Like, how dangerous is it? Imagine a normal merchant is loading up their cart with supplies to go to the big city down the street. How much trouble are they in? Because if you have like big metropolitan cities and lots of towns and business and commerce, it should probably be pretty safe to travel. Things might happen if you get close to something dangerous, but in that case, it's going to be like bandits and wolves, things that normal people can deal with. If you're in a like points of light setting and there is not a lot of intercity commerce and the world is incredibly dangerous, that's when you get to be like, T-Rex. That's when you get to be like, 3 wolves being led by a dire wolf. And it's like, oh no. So pack tactics, getting dragged to prone and getting dragged into the woods and torn to pieces. Cool. Great. Love that. That's when you start saying like, the goblin stabs you with your dagger. Make a con save. And you're like, why? And it's like, goblin wants to win, brother. Okay, so our fighter and our druid are tanky. Our wizard and our cleric are sort of running ADC / controller for the warlock. And our cleric is support. This is absolutely going to TPK more people than anything else. Good party
you don't
comp.
Want to run into the adventurers.
Yeah, good party comp is bad. Is so bad to run into. I really like this. I like there's not too much more for us to need to worry about figuring out either, which is the other good thing. The warlock is like, because if you want your warlock to be an ADC, you lean into the sort of hexblade, like enchanted weapon, powerful connection, eldritch blast side of things. If you want them to be control, you lean into the great old one. They're summoning tentacles and pools of darkness. They're restricting people in their movement. Lots of really interesting stuff there. And all you really need to figure out is like, how much damage on average does your party do? If you take everybody's basic attack and you put all those numbers, the like median results together, you want your fighter to be able to survive 3 rounds, you want your ADCs to be able to survive 2 rounds, and you want your supports to be able to survive 2 rounds. And that's pretty much it. Like, that's pretty much all you need to figure out. The fighter's job is to get in the way and make sure that the wizard doesn't die. And we could figure out a little bit more of what they do if we had more time, but we don't. It's 9 o'clock. So I think with all that being what it is, we're in really good shape. And I think that next time, maybe we flush out our band of heroes a little bit. I think what we're going to do next time is 2 big things. Number 1, we're going to figure out magic items. And number 2, I want to come up with a little fun rubric for making your cultist.
Yeah,
I want us to throw out some options and some like perks. I think you should get some unique little bonuses depending on some special backgrounds that you choose, because we don't want people to be like a folk hero to just be like building their normal stuff. I think it'd be fun to be, pick how you found your way in there.
Teacher's pet, you got a lot of options.
That's really fun. Taking the sort of student angle is really fun. All right, well, gentlemen, we summarized the entire adventure at the beginning. I found my notes. Maybe we'll trim the stream down to cut out pretty much everything that we did before. That might not be a bad idea. We'll see. YouTube went down, but we carried on all the same, and we got to engage with the chat. Bob Breezy, thank you for chiming in. Great to hear about your campaign. I hope it continues to roll well. With that, I think we're in pretty good shape. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Go ahead.
For Bot Breezy and for anybody who's running a game. If you're playing in a well-established, populated world where things are generally fairly safe, even though it's an adventurous world, don't be afraid to allow the party to fast travel. If they're just going from this town to another town and you don't really care and there's not anything plot relevant, they can just be there.
Yeah.
D&D's fun. It's supposed to be fun. You don't need to check off every box. If travel isn't fun for you and your party, or not important, even if it is sometimes not very fun, skip it.
Yeah.
You don't need to do it.
Unless your party loves exploration, and then, put standing stone circles and those kinds of really fun things. And there's a lot that you can interact with. You can make like a fairy circle and you can do all this kind of stuff. But if your party's like, man, I just want to go fight. I just want to go fight gnolls. Just let them get where they're going. It's funny sometimes because I have one friend that like doesn't really know much about Dungeons and Dragons, and like we were on an ice area and he shot a fireball and he made us fall in. That's the juice. You love that kind of stuff. That's good. Because like even you say like, the player doesn't understand, but like the guy might not understand. He doesn't know that if there's a floor, if you're on a lake of frozen ice that's 4 feet deep, you could set off a stick of dynamite and you'd be fine. You know what I mean? This guy might just not know. He's like, seems solid. Yeah, there's something fun about playing into a character being medieval. It's something I've always really enjoyed, is somebody being like, so, what god do you pray to? And they're like, well, my dad worshipped Grohl, so I pray to him. What scroll the god of? I don't rightly know. Like, there's really funny, you can look up, it's like a series of interviews from like the early 1800s with people, and they asked them like, who's Jesus? And they would be like, the man at church. Like, they didn't, like, there was this, not even that long ago, there were people who was like, oh, like, what's the rest of the world like? Oh, I imagine it's like here. Like, there's a degree of like, I'm just a dude. Like, I haven't been to school. I haven't cracked open an Encyclopedia Britannica. I don't have Wikipedia, man. All right. Thank you so much for tuning in to Foolhardy Press. You can check out our streams on Sundays and Tuesdays. On Sundays, you can check out Game Masters, Masters of Games. We're about to have our wrap-up session, finishing talking about Deep Rock Galactic. We're going to play a little Magic and talk about the game and what we thought of it. Shortly after that, we're going into the salt mines. We're going to play some League of Legends next month, so tune in for that. We're going to have a special guest star that we're very excited about after the first week. The first week, it's just the three of us, but after that, a familiar face from other streams and podcasts and whatnot that you can tune into. Our friend Stefan will be rolling in, which we're very excited about. Tuesdays, of course, DM Writers Room. Demystify the DMing process. Listen to us come with monsters, magic items, and stuff live. Ask for a little bit of advice. Throw out your own ideas. We'll address what we can. Sometimes we got to keep it moving. You know what I mean? You can check out one of our videos every other Monday. Spencer's cranking away at those, as always. We had some every now and again, someone gets sick, somebody gets busy. We're three people with adult jobs, but most of the time you can check out new and exciting stuff, including the one that we just did. You can learn about the Zentarum. And if you think that that's not pronounced right, hey man, Ed Greenwood came up with them, and he says Zentarum. Yes, at some point everybody decided to switch it up, and Ed Greenwood stuck with it all the same. And then usually on the opposite Saturdays you can check out a short video, so that's the other thing there. Thank you so much for watching. We'll catch you on the next one. Peace out. Stay foolish.